something that is so deeply concerning and dangerous as many Christians are not awakened to the fact that we are living in the end times. It is high time for you to awaken from your sleep of spiritual complacency. The very first thing that Jesus warned his disciples to look for as a sign of the end times was deception. Deception can show up in various forms, such as false doctrines, the contamination of the true faith, twisting of scriptures, or simply believing a lie. One of Satan's number one tactics is deception, because he knows if he can get you to believe a lie, you'll drift away from truth, thus drift away from Jesus Christ, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. Thy word, his word is truth. So if you can believe a lie, you'll drift away from truth, drift away from Jesus, and end up completely drifting away from the faith, which is what the scriptures warns us about, called the great fall away. Scriptures warn us that in the end times, many would depart from the faith, which is apostasy. Do we not recognize this is the strategy of the enemy? And it can start with just a little lie, because doesn't a little leaven levy the whole lump? It can be any lie, such as God doesn't love me, God doesn't care about me, God isn't there, God isn't good. Look how cunning and crafty Satan is. This is why we must take inventory of our thoughts and start asking ourselves, where does this persuasion come from? Why do I think like this? Why do I believe this? Is this man's opinions? Is this something I heard from someone else? Is this my thoughts, my feelings? See, the I must die. The word of God is the highest sovereign authority. It is truth. So we must start stacking our thoughts up against the word of God and seeing, does this align with the scriptures, or is this contrary to the scriptures? And if it's contrary, it is our responsibility to take those thoughts captive and make them obedient to Christ by replacing those thoughts, those lies, with the word of God, which is truth. It is essential that we fall in love with the word of God and become lovers of truth. We must become rooted, grounded, and anchored in truth, which is the word of God. So we are not easily deceived to believe a lie, tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine, or completely fall away from the faith. I cannot stress this enough. To endure until the end, you must read, study, and meditate on the word of God so you know it for yourself. You must make it your highest sovereign authority so you can say, no matter man's opinions or my own thoughts or feelings, what does God and his word say? Because that's what I believe. God bless.